This is a Prime Minister Modi, who's visited the Northeast more than any other Indian Prime Minister. Just a minute, brother. I know, Shehzad Poonawala, allow me to ask Shama Mohammed. Shama Mohammed, therefore, you've used what started off, sparked off. There are a variety of reasons for that, including a court order, including a drive against encroachments by the Chief Minister of the state, all of which have culminated sadly in the collapse of law and order in the state. Are you going to use all of that to essentially suggest that Prime Minister Modi, I heard Rahul Gandhi today virtually suggesting that Manipur has been created by the Modi government? Is that, do you believe that is, do you have any evidence to back something like that? You could claim that the government has failed in Manipur to control law and order. But to go from that to make a leap of faith and say the Prime Minister and Hindutva politics is responsible for what's happening in Manipur?
Definitely. Let me tell you one thing, Rajdeep. He spoke about the Ibobi time.
So all the work that the Prime Minister has done in the Northeast counts for nothing?
That's the Gujarat model going there. Let me tell you that. You know, what I'm trying to say over here, there's a huge ethnic divide. We know that the land areas are different for the Meiteis and different. The population of the Meiteis are much more. They hold less number of land. The Kukis have much more land. Their population is less. So, of course, there's a huge ethnic divide. The Prime Minister, like I said, when we win, when there are good things, he speaks. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, he talked about Rajasthan. Those, can you imagine, Olympic medalists are begging for justice on the streets. Did he speak a word? No. Everybody from foreign countries have spoken. And on the Manipur issue, you have a resolution passed by the European Union. You have the US Congress speaking about it. European Parliament. You don't have those, when you always talk about our time. We never seen this sort of thing. What I'm saying is that you spoke about empathy. Manmohan Singh was there along with Sonia Gandhi ji to receive Nirbhaya. Let's understand that when she came, when her body, was brought to Delhi. When that issue happened, they called people to their house and said, how do we solve this? Immediately we got the Nirbhaya Act. So many things we did, Rajdeep. What I'm trying to say, here is a Prime Minister without empathy, without accountability. There is no accountability.
You're saying lack of empathy, lack of accountability.
I want to ask him one last thing, is why is he not talking to these army? Our army Jawans are asking the Prime Minister, why is he always with us when we win medals, when we do well?
You've said that now for the fifth time. Shama Mohammed, that's it.
He doesn't answer. He doesn't answer the imperative questions.
Okay.
And he said, any democracy, there is president's rule and elections come after it. I didn't say elections should be there.
Okay. I will now give you 30 seconds in all fairness and Shama Mohammed not to intervene. No, 1 minute. I have limited time. I will ask you on this very simple question. The terms of engagement in an election year, are they to be revolving around issues in your view like Manipur? Is the Prime Minister willing to face those issues square on? Or does he want to, as he suggested in Rajasthan today, focus on the frailties of the opposition, which in any case has not been in power for the last 9 years? Is 2024 about Prime Minister Modi's record, or is it about what the opposition didn't or didn't do when they were in power? A quick final answer.
I will take your question in the next 15 seconds. Yes. The first 15 seconds, I'll answer her question. She spoke about Nirbhaya. I did not bring Nirbhaya up. She said we were sensitive. Sheila Dikshit. Nirbhaya case was blown out of proportion. Pretty sensitive, I would say, Rajdeep. Anyways. Then, again, Rajdeep, you are not protecting my time.
She must be.
You are not protecting my time.
Yeah,
this is absolutely unfair and it is raising question marks now.
Please go ahead.
She spoke about Brij Bhushan. The case has taken place, charge sheet has taken place. Chinmaya Shripada ka naam suna hai?
Delhi police did not oppose the
Rajdeep, you conduct the debate. You conduct the debate. You conduct the debate like this.
What is going on?
Delhi police did not oppose
it was my time. You ensure it.
Delhi police did not oppose the parade of Brij Bhushan Singh.
This is Rajdeep. Your fairness is at test. I'm asking your fairness is at test.
Your fairness is at test.
Your fairness is at test.
No, you're being unfair today.
You're
misusing the privilege of being in the studio.
Your fairness is at test.
Because whenever I'm there, I don't get the time.
Yeah, so now, give him.
You ask him, no, why Delhi police did not oppose.
I have to move on the program. If you're not going to allow him to speak, it's only fair. He's been asked a question. Is 2024 about Prime Minister Modi's record, or is it about the opposition's record?
I will answer the first 15 seconds. I will use for my question.
Please go ahead.
I have shown the Nirbhaya statement of Ms. Sheila Dikshit. They have not answered.
You've answered about Chandrachud.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Why has he summoned the Attorney
General? This was why you called her to
this is very unfair. You're being extremely unfair and you're smiling while doing it. It's not fair. Please allow him to speak. It's
and this shows their empathy. Yes. And Rajdeep, I think...
Go ahead, please. And finish it in a minute.
Seconds,
yes.
30 seconds. She spoke about Brij Bhushan. The case has been filed, charge sheet has been filed. Chinmaya Shripada and 17 other women were harassed and molested by Vera Muthu, who's being felicitated by DMK Chief Minister, where they have a government together, and not a single FIR till date. You have also run the story. You know the story? Yes or no? Thirdly, let's come to your question. By the way, she has supported the EU parliamentarians' intervention in our matter. So how much they want India and how much they want intervention is another thing. But anyway, she celebrated it.
Let him finish.
I am lying or not lying. Rajdeep, you will judge or she will judge.
Okay.
And now last, I am taking your question. Rajdeep, in the last 9 years, I am saying with absolute pride that 8,000 incidents used to take place of violence. It is down to less than 78% down. The civilian deaths is down by 70%. The data on terrorism and data on all these kinds of incidents is down by 50%. In the northeast, when elections used to take place, Rajiv used to cover it as a cub reporter. It used to be about Band ya Blast. Now we had Tripura election. We also before this had Assam election. We had election in other parts of the northeast. Not a single bullet was fired. This is not achievement.
Rajdeep, I can come
the
and lie
number
on
of
television.
one second,
I can come and lie on television.
1 minute. You can pick up his lie later. Let him finish.
It's a lie.
Rajdeep, when was the Bodo Accord conceived and when was it signed? Bru Riang Accord signed.
You see, this is part of the problem. This is part of the problem.
Baba,
No, Shehzad, I've heard you now both. Since you called me a
track record.
No.
I have given you my track
The
record.
Mizo Accord was signed when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of the country.
He doesn't
There
know
have been,
any
no,
of them.
1 minute. There have been other accords which have been signed when Vajpayee ji was there.
If the Mizo Accord was signed, 1 second.
One
you are
minute,
saying Mizo Accord.
one
No,
minute.
1 second.
The Assam Accord was also signed
1
when
second, Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, I will ask you a question now. When was AFSPA removed from most parts of the northeast?
Good
When was removed? When was it removed? You tell me if these accords were signed, why wasn't AFSPA removed?
1 minute.
Mr. Rajdeep, you are forcing me to raise my voice because you are allowing her to interrupt. We are having an adult conversation. She is behaving immaturely, smiling while interrupting, and you have allowed this kind of behavior by Congress. This is what they do in Parliament. This is exactly what they've done in Parliament.
He's shouting at you and you keep
I
quiet.
have no
I'm
problem.
sorry.
You must understand, I'll tell both of you.
Don't tell both of you, you know who has behaved like a child.
I have been doing this for years, so I am okay with people shouting at me. I have absolutely no problem. But I just want to say this, that let's be honest, the Northeast has been a turbulent region.
And now?
It has not improved. It remains a complex region.
It has not improved in the last 9 years.
In an ideal world, as I maintain, I would have liked to see an all-party delegation, Congress as well as the BJP going there. I would have liked to see an attempt made in Parliament for a bipartisan consensus, which sadly is missing. And I see the same polarization in Parliament. I see it in the television
Rajiv, can I ask only one line? Just
of course
one line.
you can.
Rajiv, just one line. Rajiv, tell me, when was the last time before 2023 you heard of riots, ethnic violence and bomb blasts in the last 9 years in this entire government, in Northeast? And tell me the number of times you heard it between 2004 and 14. And be honest, I think your silence is saying much more.